Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Chris with Inside the U. Thanks for stopping by. The Miami Hurricanes win 94-75. They end a 7-game losing streak, and they set a new school record in shooting percent. They shoot 67.3% from the field. Really efficient day, without a doubt. 66.7 was the previous record. They had done that 3 times. So really big performances coming from Miami's front court players. Matthew Cleveland leads the team in scoring 24 points. Len Kidd gets it started really efficient early on in the first half. He finishes with 20 points, 11 rebounds. And then Brandon Johnson chips in 22 points. Again, all 3 of those guys are highly efficient players in this game. And I think it's something that they certainly can do moving forward. Look, they're not going to score 20 points every game, but I think fans should be encouraged with how Miami played in this game with those 3 guys, because I think those 3 certainly should be in the starting lineup. Cleveland has been in and out, and I asked him about it after the game, and he said he's just trying to fill any role that they're giving him. But I think he can be, a reliable guy, even though he's been a little bit inconsistent at times. I think the key for him is just getting him at his best and really finding ways to be efficient on offense and get good shots. And I think he can do that because, when he does get his shots off, as we saw in the game today, he can really help this team. And also, too, I thought it was good this team won this game. And look, it ends the losing streak. They've got a long ways to go, but I do think this can be the start of a potential 4-game winning streak. That should be the goal for this team. If they can get back up to 7-7, that includes Mount St. Mary's in their final non-conference game on December 21st, and then winning their first 2 ACC games, as the ACC schedule gets kicking once again out of the new year there. And both of those games at Virginia Tech, at Boston College, they are on the road. So, but I think that's got to be the focal point for this team. Nigel Pack did not play in this game, and before the game I was watching the warm-ups. He had a boot on his right foot. So I asked Coach Larinaga about this before because, with Nigel, he missed a game against Charleston Southern. He did play in the previous 3, and I asked Coach, is this the same thing he's been dealing with? And he was hesitant, and basically it kind of seems like Nigel's been dealing with stuff. So we will see. Looking at it now, he's not been practicing since the Tennessee game. And if I were to say now, I wouldn't expect him to play against Mount St. Mary's. And I think the key for that is if you can get that break there, they've got 10 days off before the next game. I think he could really benefit from it. And one of the things I think that you got to pay attention to with Nigel is his minutes. I think his minutes have been too high. I thought it was really high in the Charleston Classic game. And if he's just a guy that you have to monitor in terms of his availability, then I think they've got to pay attention to his minutes. And asking Coach about maybe how it goes moving forward with how they're going to deal with Nigel. Basically just said, look, Divine Ugochukwu is going to continue to start. The freshman, kind of an unheralded guy, and comes out of nowhere and, kind of impresses in the early part of the non-conference schedule. And he earned his first start today. And with Divine, I think this is really key if he's going to continue to be in the starting lineup and fill in for Nigel. And I think he did a good job of it today. He doesn't need to be a guy that shoots it 10 times in a game. I think he's got to distribute, kind of attack when the plays kind of come up. But I think his role, if he is in that starting lineup, is to get those other guys going, whether it's Matt Cleveland or Brandon Johnson, Len Kidd like it was today. Jalen Blackman came off the bench. I thought he was great in terms of his efficiency and being able to hit shots. He hit 3 threes during a stretch where Miami made 17 consecutive shots, there at the end of the first half, those final 12 minutes, and they made their first 3 shots of the second half, 17 straight makes. And during that stretch, it wasn't like, everything was just wide open. I just thought they ran their offensive half-court, sets really, really well. I thought they got off good shots. It was different guys getting open, and anytime you make 17 straight shots, it's a lot of things working well. And I thought they did a good job. That their turnovers were down in this game. So it wasn't just that they were making shots. And to me, it wasn't just that they were facing a team that they're, that they have more talent than and then playing a lower conference. I thought they played really well. And I think there's encouraging signs from this game that they certainly can take moving forward and will need to. And the players said after the game, and even Coach Larinaga, that this team still wants to improve on defense. They know they need to do that. And rebounding is still a focal point of improvement for this team. I think they've got guys that can rebound the ball. I think Len Kidd with Johnson, he's been a good rebounder over his career, and Matt Cleveland as well at times has been a good rebounder. So I think they can rebound the ball well. And then defense, I think the big thing was going to be with the guards. If they're going to be able to stay with other guards, prevent dribble penetration, saw some of that today, but just try to prevent as many paint touches as possible, because it's not just about penetrating and giving up layups. It's about kind of giving up some open shots. So that'll be something to watch for. It's something I'm watching for defensively with this team as it continues throughout the rest of the season. And then just a couple other updates on a couple other players other than Nigel not playing today. Austin Swartz, who had started the last 3 games, averaging 18 minutes a game, did not play in this one. And coach said it was just simply a coach's decision. Felt like, he wants to motivate the freshman. So we'll see how Austin responds by not playing in this game. But, I said it in my takeaways from last game. I think some harsh decisions have to be made. I think they've got to cut down the rotation a little bit, not play as many guys. So Nigel was hurt. Austin was kind of an odd man out, and we'll see how things go moving forward. But I think, again, that this coaching staff is continuing to learn about its players and how they fit and kind of what the best lineup is, because all these guys present some positives when they're out on the floor, and they've got to figure out essentially what their identity is and, how to maximize this team's roster moving forward throughout the course of the season. Kyrie Huey has yet to make his season debut, and he was out here for pregame layups. He's not wearing a brace on his thumb there, on his left thumb, which is a shooting hand. He did have a little wrap, it looked like, but he didn't play in the game. And just kind of an update with coach, asking him about it. He put his fingers up to cross his fingers that hopefully he'll be back soon, but it could be another month. So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if he's back a little bit sooner, as long as he can continue to do everything in practice. But again, I wouldn't expect him to play on Saturday, but we'll see. And then I think he's just a guy that can provide minutes off the bench. That's always going to be his role. But as the season kind of continues, establishing roles and rotations is going to be important. I think that's why Kyrie, his addition would be important to this team. If he can give a good, anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes off the bench, kind of help Len Kidd out a little bit there at the 5 spot, I think that'd be big for this team. And just finally, look, this team has a long ways to go to kind of erase or get past this 7-game losing streak, and ACC play is just around the corner, not exactly where they want to be, but I think because of the veterans they have on this team and guys that have been proven productive players over their careers, I think there's reasons to be a little encouraged about this team if they can kind of stay positive, kind of establish themselves some roles and, just kind of get the most out of them and, avoid injuries. They need Nigel Pack back on the floor. He's certainly an asset as his team's leading scorer, and just kind of finding different ways to get him, highly productive and not kind of have the inconsistencies as we've seen of late. But maybe his injuries have been bothering him. Last year it became an issue as well, and coach said deja vu a little bit from last year around this time. So we'll see how things go moving forward with Nigel. I do want to touch on, Miami has 2 signees in this recruiting class. Ben Ahmed and Matthew Abel. Had a chance to watch Ben in the Sunshine Prep showcase event there, and I posted his highlights from a game that I watched. He had 19 points. He's a center, 4-star prospect, so I had a chance to watch him, so definitely check that out. But I thought he's a lefty. He's a guy that I've seen over the summer being able to extend his shot. In this game in particular, he was doing a good job kind of moving around a little bit, catching the ball in the post, a little bit of some high post entry passes where he can kind of facilitate the offense a little bit, where he can look for his teammates. I thought he did a good job on some kickouts, whether it was double teamed. So he's always looking for teammates. That stood out to me, and then kind of flushing home some dunks. So, there's some more things he's got to improve on. His lateral quickness needs to improve, but young centers tend to always kind of have that issue. And he wasn't very good from the free throw line. 5 of 13, not good at all. That number's got to be much better. So, and then defensively, always wanting to rebound. You definitely want to see high rebound marks out of him. He had 7 in the game. I thought he could have had a little bit more and finish him through contact. That's another thing. Was fouled a lot, obviously with the high free throw numbers, but he's got to be able to finish a little bit better there around the rim, even if he's getting some contact, because obviously at this level, the college level, you're going to have contact. So thanks for watching. Drop in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this team, this game. How much does it mean to you? What does it mean possibly moving forward? But I want to thank you for your support. Happy holidays, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.